Happy New Year to you all, and I wish you a safe and a healthy, prosperous 2021. Welcome to the 100-day Unleashing My Superpowers, where we've interviewed over 30 women across the globe on what it took them to succeed in a male-dominated work environment. So far in 2020, we have been inspired by about 18 great leaders who shared their stories, and this year we have 12 phenomenal women who are going to be sharing their inspiring stories. You don't want to miss any one of these stories, so please do subscribe to our YouTube channel below if you haven't done so, or you can follow us on our social media. That's on LinkedIn, Peak Performance with Patience page, and on our Facebook page, on our Instagram and Twitter account. Today, my guest is an inspirational STEM leader whom I spent over 3 years when we were students at the University of South Australia. We both did our PhD. She's an inspirational leader with so much depth. You'll enjoy the interview. Please welcome Professor Kate Fox. Kate is an experienced biomedical engineer, associate professor and associate dean for higher education bioresearch at RMIT University in Melbourne. She has worked at the interface between engineering and medicine for over 10 years. Previously, she worked as a research fellow at the University of Melbourne, and she is also a patent attorney of Mardens Attorneys. She's a 2019-2020 Superstar of STEM, a 2019 Tall Poppy, and 2019 Most Innovative Engineer. Kate will share with you her epiphany moment on how she stays connected to her mission to succeed as a leader. Are you someone who says yes to everything? Now watch this inspiring video as Kate shares also her key success factors of what it took her to succeed as a woman in STEM, to be a great scientist and a leader at RMIT. Thank you. What do you believe are the top 3 barriers to career advancement for women who are in STEM?
You know, we all go off, and for STEM, a lot of people go and do their PhDs, whether that's to go into industry or academia or whatever. But the problem is that we all finish our PhD at around 26, and that lines up perfectly with often the years where you're thinking about having children, and you know, it's actually a very big decision. And my answer for that is always there's no right or wrong answer. I had my kids in my PhD. I don't recommend it to anyone, but you know, it worked out fine. But it's a really awkward time, because once you start working in academia, there's this thing where you've got to have this track record of publishing and grant success. And if you stop for a year or 2 years to raise a family, it makes it really difficult to get back onto that treadmill. Not impossible, yeah. It just makes it tricky. Probably barriers are, you know, the current economic crisis and COVID in particular at the moment. You know, the funding just isn't there for taking a risk on, you know, untried people. And whilst, you know, there's a great emphasis now about hiring females, particularly in engineering, you know, that's actually a nice leap start. If you're a female in engineering, you often get those graduate positions because, you know, the companies do have their quotas, and that's fine. And often, you know, the female candidate would have got through on her own merits, irrespective of this. But the preconceived idea from outside is that there's been some favoritism about how that, you know, candidate has got through to your employment. So that does follow you through your whole career, where I can tell that all the times people have said to me, "Oh, you've only got this job because you're a girl. I've only got this job because they need, you know, diversity,
females,
whatever it is." And it sticks with you, whether it's true or not. It stays in the back of your mind for the rest of your life.
What's your leadership style and what is unique about it?
If you look at the university sector, I'm reasonably young for a leader, but it actually works in my role because I look after, and I use the word look after. I guide, you know, 700 PhD students in our School of Engineering. It's actually a good, I try to not blur the lines between personal and professional, but I also like to lead by experience. So last week, for example, we ran a session called the Juggle Session. It was about PhD students or master's students who were juggling family or care responsibilities whilst doing their PhD. And it ended up just being a 2-hour overshare of my experiences going through a PhD, while having children. But so I try to be relatable, the best I can. But I'm always going to have age as a bit of a negative against me.
So work-life balance, how do you do that?
About doing things that make you happy, right? So I work on projects that make me happy, and I have that privilege where I'm reasonably high enough in the chain that I can pick and choose a bit about what I work on. I never work on the weekends, and I play AFL football. When I'm asked to do something, I sort of have a thing of, will this benefit me? And when I say, will this benefit me, it doesn't necessarily mean, will I get money for it or will I, whatever. It is, am I helping someone else? Will it help my profile? Will it help my university? Will it make me happy? I don't say yes to everything. So being on the safety committee, it might benefit me as a early career researcher to get known inside the university, meet other people in other schools. That's good. But if I sat on the safety committee now, I'm just a person on that committee. There's no actual benefit to me, if that makes sense. So if I'm asked, they need a female, they want me or whatever, I'll say yes, because it benefits someone else and it benefits me by, So it's about making sure there's something in it for you.
Your epiphany moments in your journey as a woman in STEM.
My biggest epiphany probably happened 5 or 6 years ago, where it suddenly occurred to me that no one was going to promote my career if I wasn't going to promote my career. Right? So I sort of kept waiting for these big breaks, someone to notice me. I don't know why, he's getting all the attention or she's getting all the attention. We do the same stuff. And then I suddenly realized that was a really wrong attitude to take, that I need to be out there on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever it is and talking about the things that are working for me. And success breeds success. So if you can convince yourself that you're successful, everyone else climbs on. So that was a really important, I can't emphasize it more. If you're not confident in your own skills, no one else is going to be confident in your skills. So that was a very important epiphany.
Very important epiphany moment.
The second was, work on things that make you happy. All right. There's no point working on a project that's affecting your mental health or, not getting the outcomes that you want. I understand that not everything about being an engineer is necessarily, cool fun. But you've got to do it for the right reasons. So I do things I want to give back to the community. I want to be able to change lives. So if I can see that end result, I'm happy to do it. So once I realized to only chase things that make me happy rather than, chase things that will win the grants or get the Nature publication, all those other things followed, right? Because you're showing enthusiasm in what you do and people want to fund or cite things that have enthusiasm behind them. That was a good one. And number 3 was when I stopped realizing it was a competition. Right. So academia is a really interesting place because I guess we're set up to look like we're always competing against our peers, the rest of the world, all that sort of stuff. So as a young PhD student, you're looking at everyone else's Google Scholar profile going, well, they've got 4 papers, I've got 1. Why isn't that fair? And I did that for years and years and years, constantly benchmarking myself and going, I don't understand why does no one cite me, all this sort of stuff. And once I realized it wasn't a competition, all that stuff happens as well. Because it comes with time, it comes with age, it comes with expertise.
How do you see that evolving? What are the new skills of the future?
I think COVID has really opened up everyone's eyes to how much of our jobs, how much of our lives, how much of everything we do could be done digitally. So I can't see anyone, going back to having, cash in their wallet. We've all moved on to that. Go and you touch your phone on and you move on to the next thing. So I think the way that we actually interact with the world around us has probably changed forever. So what that does is it opens up I guess, a whole new pathway of learning for graduates who are coming through this system with
Yeah.
skills that us who are the leaders in the field don't have. Right? So they're
Yeah.
value adding each and every step of the way.
Yeah.
So they've actually got a strength moving forward
Yeah.
that they will get the jobs if they can keep up with digital requirements, whether it's storage of CAD files remotely and sharing CAD files around the world to be able to design the widget, whatever it
Yeah.
is, whether it's we've discovered this whole new thing about healthcare and how important data tracking is, and
Yes.
all the modeling around population health and all that sort of stuff that
Yeah.
always existed, but no one had heard of it or no one had thought about how it would impact their lives.
Yes.
So I think the school kids coming through can now see an application for some of these technologies that
Yes.
their parents never did.
Yeah.
Parents go, why would you go and do analytics? There's no jobs in there. You're just going to work in a bank.
Exactly.
Right?
The application.
Application. So I think you
Yes.
get more parents at home now pushing their children into STEM because they sort of see it's not just being a doctor or a nurse or an engineer, that there's all these other parts of STEM that ensure that the universe continues to rotate, particularly in a global health crisis, that
Yes.
jobs weren't particularly apparent before. They're always there. We just didn't know.
Exactly. Amazing story, Kate. Thank you so much. And I greatly appreciate your time, you taking time to really share your story.
Thank you very much. Thrilled to be part of this, really.